May
Kaya
courtesy
pinatawag
calls.
na
It's way past their bedtime.
Kailangan nila mag-antay eh.
But front row seats to
Kawawa
history.
naman tapat sa debate.
Yung mga bata, no, siguro iniisip, ba't pa tayo nandito? Ganito.
Hindi, it's an education for them.
Yes, front row seats. To a
But thank
good
you once again to Cez, to Sean, and to Paui. Of course, as we mentioned, One News will keep tabs on the Senate plenary while play-by-play is ongoing. But, okay, a little bit of commercial, Denise. In sports, as we said, a lot of news going on. Let's start with the NBA. The Oklahoma City Thunder pulling even now with the Indiana Pacers with a Game 2 win in the NBA Finals. Plus, how about this kid right here? Gymnastics golden boy, Carlos Yulo, picking up where he left off, getting several medals in his first competition since the Olympic Games in Paris.
And we've got a recap of last night's PBL draft as Capital One selects Bella Belen first overall. Surprise!
Gagamitin ko yung pretends to be shocked na meme.
Surprise! Oh.
Nagugulat pa ba tayo na si Bella Belen ang number one pick? But we have more on that, as we said. Packed show on a Monday for you sports fans. I'm Andre Felix.
I'm Denise Tan, sitting in for Cheska Liton Calao.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy leaves, let it! Mr. Moves puts it on. Unbelievable! Gemma on the left side. Oh, the pass! Stopping another one! Bakunas rejecting Estevo for the
Okay, this time around, no Oklahoma City meltdown as the Thunder take a dominant game to win over the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. Final score, 123-107 as OKC levels the best-of-7 series now at 1 game apiece. The victory comes just 2 days after the Thunder's stunning Game 1 loss where the Pacers clawed back from 15 points down in the fourth quarter. But in Game 2, the Thunder were already up by 18 at the half thanks to a strong start by big man, this guy right here, Chet Holmgren. And they staved off any sort of scare until the final buzzer. Holmgren finishing with 15 markers, 11 coming in the first half. But once again, it was MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, top scoring for the best in the West with 34 points to go along with his 8 assists. The series will now move to Indianapolis. Game 3 will tip off this Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Philippine time. Now let's listen to SGA talking about his team's huge bounce-back performance.
I don't think it's anything more complicated than what I said before. Like, basketball it's a game of ups and downs. The season's full of ups and downs. A series is full of ups and downs. And it's about the team that can stay level-headed and get better throughout the experiences. That's going to come out on top. And that's our goal, get better through every experience. And we did that last game. We got to repeat for Game 3.
All right, lastly, you guys love to talk about neutral state of mind and winning the days in between. After a loss, that seems somewhat obvious. But after a win, how does that play out?
The exact same way. You can't get comfortable. You got to focus on the little things, recovery, getting ready for the game plan, and ultimately, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but getting better for the next game and the next opportunity.
Now Tyrese Halliburton tried to spark another Pacers comeback to no avail in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Hallie had 12 of his team-high 17 points in the fourth quarter. But by then, the game was already out of reach for Indiana. Eastern Conference Finals MVP Pascal Siakam was also held to just 15 points on 3 of 11 shooting all game long. At the post-game press conference, the two Pacers stars shared their thoughts as the Thunder's tied series at 1 game apiece.
I think we just got to do a better job getting to the paint. It's a lot easier said than done, but I feel like in the first half we were just moving the ball on the outside, and I don't think we had a single point in the paint in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So, our offense is built from the inside out. We got to do a better job getting downhill. They collapse and then make plays from there. But I thought we could improve a lot there. But yeah, man, they're flying around. They got great point of attack defenders. They got great rim protectors. It's a great defense. So we can do a lot better job, and we'll watch the film and see if we can get better. Going into Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty close in the beginning. I mean, I think just a lot of unanswered buckets, maybe some key turnovers that we can take away. But yeah, they did a good job being disruptive, and they got out in transition. And yeah, they made some tough shots. I mean, they got guys that contributed, across the board. They got off the bench. Guys made some big shots. They got rebounds. Yeah, they just did a little bit of the little things that more than we did.
Don't worry, NBA fans. We'll have more on the NBA Finals later on the show. But for now, let's put the spotlight on some of our Pinoy athletes on the international stage. Okay, let's start with guess who? The Golden Boy, Carlos Yulo, who just wrapped up his campaign in the Asian Gymnastics Championships with 4 medals. Yulo reasserted his dominance in the floor exercise, winning his 4th straight gold in his pet event. He scored 14.600, besting Kazakhstan and South Korea. Yulo also won 3 bronze medals from the vault, the parallel bars, and the individual all-around events. But the Filipino Olympian fell short of the podium in the horizontal bars event, placing 7th. This is Yulo's first competition since winning 2 golds at the Olympic Games Paris 2024. He will now join fellow members of the Philippine team for a training camp in Japan. This will be part of their preparation for the World Championships that will happen in October in Jakarta, Indonesia.
It's a tough loss for Alas Pilipinas women in their 3rd match of the 2025 ABC Women's Nations Cup. The national women's volleyball team came up just short against a gritty Iran squad in a 5-set thriller. Final score 25-16, 21-25, 26-24, 23-25, and 13-15. Angel Canino led the way for Alas with 20 points, while Ea Lauria added 16 markers in the loss. The Philippines is now 2-1 in Pool B behind Kazakhstan and Iran, who are both now 3-0. Only the top 2 teams per pool will advance to the semifinals. Alas women will have a 1-day break before returning to action as they face New Zealand on Wednesday. And coming up, the future stars of the PVL have arrived. We take a look at how the 2025 PVL rookie draft went last night. That and more when Play-by-Play returns. Stick with us.
And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play-by-Play only on One News. Okay, let's go back to our top story. The Oklahoma City Thunder winning Game 2 of the NBA Finals now to even up their series against the Indiana Pacers.
And for a deeper dive into that game, we've got one sports correspondent, Dip Bianco, joining us live from OKC. Good evening from Manila. Good morning, Dip.
Good morning, guys.
Okay, good morning, Dip. Mukhang hindi naman bagong gising. Mukhang fresh na fresh from the
Oo,
game.
medyo napuyat kagabi after game number 2. Siyempre, may mga celebration pa na nangyari.
Mukhang fresh. But thanks, Dip. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for
Of course.
waking up early just to join us. I know it's 7:42 a.m. there, OKC time. Okay, diretso na tayo. What or who was a big difference in your eyes? You were there live for OKC this time to compared to Game 1.
Hello?
Dip, again, what for you, diretso na tayo, was the big difference sa nakita mo? Because ngayon, as we said, it was a statement win and OKC, as expected, dominated this game as compared to Game 1 and winning 123-107. Ano naman yung nagbago sa paningin mo?
Well, honestly, pagpasok pa lang namin ng Paycom Center, Andre, yung crowd, ibang-iba yung energy. We felt like it was a louder crowd as compared to Game 1. This might have fueled the OKC Thunder even more, knowing that they had to tie the series up before they go to the home court of Indiana Pacers. But aside from that, SGA facilitated better. He had 8 assists. He had guys off the bench score in double digits. He had Aaron Wiggins score more than 15 points. You have Alex Caruso also doing his job pretty well. And someone who did not show up in game number 1, Chet Holmgren, played well. And those are the difference makers in game number 2. Kaya nakuha nila yung panalo.
Tama, 6 points kasi lang si Holmgren ng Game 1, 2 of 9 shooting. This time around, talagang bumawi nga itong si Chet Holmgren.
Pero ikaw, Dip, personally, what did you observe? I mean, obviously, you watched the game. We can look at the stats. I mean, yung kapansin-pansin was that OKC had a better number when it came to their points from inside the paint, as well as them taking advantage of those fouls, scoring 29 out of the 33 attempts. So medyo, ang laki no, na nakukuha nila from the foul line. But what was most evident, I guess, skill or area kung saan take advantage ng OKC at saan naman nag-struggle itong Pacers?
No, you're right. No, actually yung depensa talaga ng OKC, that's their bread and butter. It doesn't probably show up in the stats, but when you watch the game live, you can see that they're really swarming itong players ng Indiana, and it's so hard for them to space. Talking about the Pacers, kasi yung OKC, onting hakbang lang, nababantay nila naro-rotate nila So, my colleague here, si Boom, said it best na parang 6-on-5 yung nangyayari. It is 5-on-5 on court, literally. Pero pag nanonood ka, parang feeling mo anim yung players ng Thunder because they're defending so well. And it doesn't always translate to a steal or a turnover for the Pacers, but you feel the impact and it makes the Pacers struggle with their shot creation. Plus, Tyrese Haliburton, kulang sa aggressiveness nung first 3 quarters. He was limited to below than 10 points. Fourth quarter na siya sumubok humabol, pero it was little too late for them.
Kung may nakita ka man any holes though, so we're talking about OKC, what they did right and what they did better here in Game 2 compared to Game 1. But are there any things that Coach Mark Daigneault should address or that the Pacers could capitalize on as the series now shifts to Indianapolis in Game 3?
Well, honestly, for OKC, okay yung ginawa nila ng Game 2. There's not a lot of weaknesses shown, but they have to be careful because we know, the Indiana Pacers, kilala yan for making comebacks. Diba? The entire playoffs, they've been doing the same thing. It's just that last night, Coach Rick Carlisle waved the white flag early, mga 4 minutes pa in the fourth quarter. He already took out his starters and he was probably trying to teach them a lesson to na, guys, hindi tayo pwedeng parating comeback, diba? Hindi pwedeng habol tayo ng habol. We have to at least keep it close sa simula pa lang ng laro. And that's probably what he's trying to teach the players. But for OKC, as long as they remember their ways to winning, like game number 2, okay na okay yung ginawa nila. So far, yung pinakita nila last night, no weakness as long as well, for me, they have to capitalize on Shea really distributing the leather. Kasi nung game 1, wala siya masyadong assists. He scored around the same points, around 30 plus. But getting help from the bench, yun yung difference maker in game number 2.
What do you expect, or how do you expect Indiana to react, especially since they are going back to home court, coming off a loss? Alam natin, kaya naman nila magpakita. They can dominate as seen in game number 1.
Well, obviously, it may shift going to their home court, diba, sa Indiana, plus iba rin yung energy dyan. That's where they eliminated the New York Knicks, no? So I'm for sure when they get to that place, they'll remember the energy, they'll remember what's at stake, and they might just, get game number 3 moving forward.
Well, Dip, thank you for your time again. Good morning. Sige, you can go back to sleep. I'm not saying that woke up like this, pero pwede ka, or you can head down to the buffet table. Or the buffet.
Mukhang didiretso na ako dun.
Breakfast ka na. Oh, baka nandun na si Buddy Boom. Thank you, Dip. We'll be talking to you again soon.
Guys.
Have a safe flight to Indiana. Thank you. That was, again, One Sports correspondent, Dip Yanko, reporting live all the way from Oklahoma City for game number 2 of the NBA Finals. Now with the series tied at 1 game apiece, well, it looks like we've still got a long way to go, Denise, in this championship series, and you can watch the 2025 NBA Finals this June on NBA TV Philippines, on One Sports, on RPTV, and of course, stream on the Pilipinas Live app.
Now in volleyball, a no-brainer for the number 1 pick in this year's PVL draft. 3-time UAAP MVP and champion Bella Belen headlines this year's class of rookies. Find out who else were chosen in the first round in this report.
This is only
All glammed up and ready to shine, the 2025 PVL Rookie Draft was a night to remember for the league's newest rookies. Before the picks were made, rookie hopefuls trotted down the red carpet showing off their personal style and confidence off the court. Inside the venue, teams were given just 3 minutes per pick to finalize their selections.
The Capital One Solar Spikers select Micaela Belen from National University.
Going first overall to the Capital One Solar Spikers, 3-time UAAP MVP and champion Bella Belen of National University. Belen was unable to attend the draft due to her commitment with Alas Pilipinas in the AVC Nations Cup, but her selection was no surprise. At number 2, the Galleries Tower High Risers selected FEU standout Jean Assis, who admitted she was caught off guard to hear her name called that early.
Ang dami namin, pero yun nga, ako yung nabigyan ng chance na ma-second pick. So ayun, sobrang thankful sa coaches ng Galleries po na pinagkatiwalaan po nila ako sa position na to.
Farm Fresh, as expected, took Phil setter Alohi Robbins Hardy with the 3rd pick. After being sidelined by eligibility issues last conference, Alohi says she's ready to finally compete.
Honestly, I think just a lot of, they're really good at teamwork and communication, but I think me and then the new coach will help them, I think, level up their game this coming season and in seasons to come. Been with them for a season already. We've been acclimated. We love, being together. So I think that hopefully won't be a problem.
Rounding out the top 5, the next led Chameleons selected Ateneo's Lian de Guzman, while the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells added AC Minor, also from the Blue Eagles. Several big names were also selected in the first round, including Erin Pangilinan to the Signal HD Spikers, Phil setter Tia Andaya to the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, and Sheena Turing, who will reunite with Coach Sherwin Meneses with the Creamline Cool Smashers. In total, 57 aspirants were part of the final draft list after completing the combine and documentary requirements. But only 29 players were selected as the draft proceeded into the 3rd round. Newly drafted rookies are expected to join team trainings as soon as preparations begin for the upcoming PVL On Tour this month.
Coming up, it's official. People's champ Manny Pacquiao has entered the International Boxing Hall of Fame. That story and more when Play-by-Play returns. You're watching Play-by-Play here on One News. Welcome back. Rising tennis stars Carlos Alcaraz and Coco Gauff rule this year's French Open. Alcaraz outlasted top-seeded Yannick Sinner in the final to retain the men's single crown. The young Spaniard battled back from 2 sets down to get the victory 4-6, 6-7, 6-4, 7-6, 7-6. The match lasted 5 hours and 29 minutes, the second longest Grand Slam final in the Open era. Gauff had a comeback of her own in the women's singles final. She beat world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka 6-7, 6-2, 6-4. Gauff is the first American woman to win a French Open championship since 2015.
Okay, we've got game 2 of the NBA Finals for you. In tonight's highlight reel, let's start. Roll it right away. First off, Indiana Pacers. Oh, pocket pass, pick and roll. Turner, I know they lost, but this is the #1 play in the NBA Top 5 for a reason. Miles Turner posterizing Isaiah Hartenstein off that pick. Pocket pass, boom, on iHeart. But yes, they're still down here in the fourth quarter by double digits, but that's a great play from Hallie and Turner. Posting, by the way, 16 points. Halliburton, 17, 6 assists. Unfortunately, yes, Indiana losing and falling back to earth in game 2 after that historic and epic, stunning game 1 finish in their favor. Okay, let's go to OKC now, the winning team. Chet Holmgren will get a stop on Obi Toppin, and look at the 7-footer. Aggressive on both sides of the floor now here in game 2. Much better, 6 points in game 1, 15 points here, and Holmgren way up there for the athletic big over Obi Toppin, trying to put it up high. Holmgren, 6 rebounds, and that block in game 2 also came alive on offense, as seen in our last play of the night. Roll it, big-to-big action. Here we go. Shea, iHeart, Chet for the finish and a flush. A minute to go in the third. Good play here. SGA to iHeart, who knows what to do. Bato mo lang, kaya na ni Holmgren saluhin yan. Whoop, alley-oop there. And iHeart finishing with 3 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Uy, may mga nag-request, may mga nagko-comment doon. Ano yan? Napabang siya. Chet tally 15 markers, 11 coming in the first half. Nice bounce-back performance coming off his lackluster display in Game 1. OKC wins 123-107. The Thunder even up the series 1 game apiece. Game 3 of the NBA Finals will head now to Indianapolis. That will be this Thursday, Huwebes po, 8:30 a.m. Philippine time. Denise, on to you.
And before we go, we want to congratulate boxing's only 8-division world champion, Manny Pacquiao, for yet another achievement to his already legendary career. Pac-Man was officially inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame earlier today. The ceremony took place at the Turning Stone Casino in Verona, New York. After a 4-decade career filled with belts and breakthroughs, his legacy is now forever etched in history. But the work's not over just yet, because Pacquiao heads back to camp to prepare for his July 19 return in Las Vegas against WBC champ Mario Barrios.
Congratulations to the Pac-Man. Well deserved naman talaga. What a legendary career by the Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao. Kahit kanina, sobrang excitement dun sa highlight reel. Si Don, yung cameraman natin, napabang. Oo, wala naman tres, napabang siya eh. Sabi niya, bang! Na-excite din eh. Yun ang inaabangan talaga, yung highlight reel. That's all from us tonight. Catch us again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of the day's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News. That's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We're also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Denise Tan, sitting in for Cheska Liton Calao. Thank you for watching.